All right. Looks like everything's working good. We are back. Welcome back, everyone. This is J-Bone from Smash This Podcast. I know I've not had enough coffee yet today. So, but we got a lot of little tidbits of news to talk about. So I was like, well, instead of trying to plan all this separate stuff for later, we'll just make one big old news soup today. Or this morning, or wherever you're wherever you're watching this from. But before we get into anything, there is a new link down in the description. If you did not see yesterday, J-Bone made a new Instagram for the podcast because all my associated podcasts have Instagrams for their own. And I was like, well, I'm not a big Instagram guy, but I hear more and more people are using Instagram for promoting stuff. So I'm going to try to get in the habit of putting stuff out there on a semi-regular basis and just, see how it helps the podcast, see how many followers or whatever. So that's like way at the bottom at the end. There. Styles, there's one podcast missing on Instagram. Aw. Don't be sad, Styles. You know what you got to do then. Yo, War Dog in the chat. So yeah, do Smash This Podcast Instagram. It's only got like one post on it. I was like, okay, well, if we're gonna put up anything, we gotta hype the merch. So, and that link is also in the description because, baby, it's cold outside. Go get yourself some warm merch because there's even snow of all places in Arizona. Us people in Wisconsin are just laughing. We're just like, you're building snowmen. You have no clue what you're doing. I actually did see a very funny video yesterday. It was done by some cops somewhere in Arizona. And they were talking about this surrounded and covered in this white substance. And they were they were advising people not to go near it or to touch it. And then they gotta call in saying, "Oh, we found out it's frozen water." It was just very funny. It's getting passed around on social media. If you happen to find it, it's very funny. It's Louise is in the chat. What is up? Your thoughts on Impact signing Sami Callihan to a multi-year deal? Yes, that is in the notes for today. So as long as you brought that up, why not? Let's start with that. That is tremendous news that was broken by it was Wrestling Inc. I believe it was Wrestling Inc. Oh, I'm on the wrong damn site. I am on the wrong site. But it's probably on here too. No, maybe it's not. Oh, well, whatever. Yeah, so Wrestling Inc. broke the news that excuse me. Sami Callihan got signed to a multi-year deal, which is tremendous. In a time that WWE is starting to really try to lock people down and step their game up, and AEW is in the game now, and they're signing people. They're building a company. They're making a roster. They're hiring people behind the scenes. They're building a company. And they're also trying to, put together Double or Nothing and all that kind of stuff. We'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, in a day and age, and that's one thing I said within the last week or two, I was like, okay, well, this company over here is doing this. This company over here is doing this. I'm like, Impact Wrestling has got to start locking people down and, doing some progressively positive things to their company, because they're losing people, but they're also replacing them. So that's not a bad thing, because there was a time when they were just letting people go and they weren't replenishing them. Is when they got rid of all their classic, say, Ring of Honor guys, Styles, Daniels, Kaz, Joe, all those guys. They got rid of all their originals, or majority of them, and didn't replace them. But it's a completely different company now, and they're constantly making positive waves in the wrestling company, in the wrestling world, excuse me. So yeah, Sami signed to a multi-year deal, so I'm assuming 2 at least, if not more. I didn't read any of the details of it, but I saw the headline, so I was like, hey, tremendous. Also, wanted to talk about, yesterday came out a Canadian, Josh Alexander. Is it Josh Alexander? I believe it is. Be quick. I believe that's. Why do I feel like that's like the wrong walking weapon? It is Josh Alexander. It just didn't sound right at first. Scott D'Amore broke the news from a company that he helps run, BCW up in Canada. I believe that's what this show was. Don't quote me on that. Don Koloff Arena. Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, that's the wrong. That's that's Black Clark. That's Black Craft Wrestling. That's not the right one. I think he meant Border City Wrestling. So that's whatever that is. The tagline for that is, but they put the wrong one into Twitter. That's kind of funny. They probably got the tweet and they were like, what? But whatever. It's, they're both BCW, so that's funny. We got a BCW here in town too. It's Brew City Wrestling. It's where the Beer City Bruiser and, other Milwaukee natives have come from as well. But yeah, Josh Alexander started really making some waves. At least that's when I started noticing him, was last year. You can go on the GWN network and do a search on him, and a couple events will pop up that were one night onlys, I believe. Yeah, I believe they were one night onlys. He had a couple events, one regular match, I believe it was with Sami Callihan, and then he also had a steel cage match. And that was my introduction to him. And I was like, wow, this guy's amazing at walking _weapon if you want to look him up. Look up Josh Alexander. Tremendous, absolutely tremendous get for Impact Wrestling. It's guys like that that maybe they don't get seen by a lot of people, but they're now given an opportunity to really show off their stuff, to have an audience, a live audience. And I think that's so awesome for him. He was going through some visa issues last year. He was trying to get another work visa, and I didn't hear all the details. All I heard is that the US he had like a 3-month thing, and the United States would not renew it. Whatever the verbiage is, I'm not real familiar with that. They wouldn't let him get another work visa. So he was stuck in Canada, which there's plenty of work in Canada as far as wrestling, but, there's just, not going to say there's better and more opportunities, but for lack of better words, yeah. I mean, when wrestling is really blowing up this year, yeah. So Scott D'Amore got in the ring and presented him with a 3-year contract, which Scott D'Amore takes a lot of pride in Canadian wrestlers, and this is a huge example of that. So I can't wait to see what he all does in Impact Wrestling. And so I hate assuming, but you got to assume that he's they're going to help him get those issues resolved as far as, getting back into the US and abroad for that matter, Europe, wherever. Hey, we got some more chatters in here. What is up, guys? Catch up on the chat real quick before we change subjects. So far, they have re-signed Eddie Edwards and Sammy. I don't know about Ace Austin and Delilah Doom. Dude, like I tell everybody a million times over, go YouTube them. You won't be disappointed. Ace Austin is going to be a star in the X division. Not that he can't do more, but if they're really trying to beef up the X division, he's also going to be in MLW. And from what I read, and Scott D'Amore confirmed this, which is tremendous, is that Impact Wrestling and MLW have been working close together so that all these kids can work, together, both companies, and that they don't, interfere. We don't have to cancel stuff. And that's what this business needs, is more companies like that working together. Perfect example. So, and Delilah Doom, go check out some, she's been all over the place, but I know most notably, I think, was Rise. Go check out some Rise videos from hers. Let's see. Rascals Impact #1 stars. Yeah, the Rascals are a lot of fun to watch. What is up, Robert? How you doing? Hope all is well with you. Oh no, yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that, War Dog, because it's like I said, it's a completely different company. They didn't have a clue what they were doing with the Young Bucks back then, and try to split them up and all that stuff. They just, completely different. It's like that's like another universe ago. We got people taking care of the talent now, writing good storylines, setting up good rivalries. So yeah, I'm not too worried. The Rascals are gonna have a damn good future in this, and they're just between Trey Miguel in his singles matches and the Rascals, Wentz and Desmond Xavier in their tag matches or 3-on-3s, whatever. It's the future is bright in the tag and X division for those guys. Totally not worried about it at all. All right, so talked about the contracts. Want to talk about MLW for a bit. I know I haven't done the reviews. I watched yesterday. I watched the latest one, but I want to watch a couple more so I can talk about a few different, catch up on a few different shows, new champ and all that kind of stuff, new tag champs. So I want to do a little catching up this week, get back into the swing of things. But the headline came out this morning. Read this. This is straight out of the news pages of the MLW site. MLW debuts in Milwaukee area Saturday, June 1st. I live just outside Milwaukee, and where this show is going to be is at the Waukesha County Expo Center on a Saturday, June 1st. This is at the same place I saw the House of Hardcore show, Great Lakes Championship Wrestling show, the Blizzard Brawl, House of Hardcore show. And I saw, when did I see that? November? I forget. A couple months ago, whenever it was. Last year. And so yeah, as soon as I heard that they were coming to the area, I was like, ooh. I'm like, okay, they're not gonna do an arena, but this expo center is like a nice, it's a nice sized area, and I've got a feeling they're gonna pack this place because it's a great introduction of MLW to southeastern Wisconsin. And if they pack this place, they'll be back, which makes me very excited. So I can't wait to see what kind of card they're going to set up. I publicly on Twitter thanked Kurt Bauer, CEO and MLW. So it'll be great covering that live whenever they come here for those tapings or whatever. So it's going to be Fury Road. It was supposed to be in Philly. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Replaces the originally scheduled Philadelphia event, which has been rescheduled for December. Okay. So Philly stuff is rescheduled. I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be for the 2300 arena. That place is very busy lately between House of Hardcore, Ring of Honor. Now MLW is doing stuff there, among other wrestling companies, and whatever else is going on there for the public. So, can't wait for that. Super excited. MLW's taking over. Too funny. I love you guys. All right. All right. So we covered that. What else? Oh yeah, AEW. Trying to remember the thumbnail. I watched the latest Being the Elite. Just a little bit ago. Great show. It's I love it's like poor Marty, they have to be careful now because it actually represents another company, and they got him in the intro. So they do the quick fast forward through his little part, and then a quick cutout flip at the end and goes to black. Poor guy. Who knows? Maybe he'll join there someday, or both of them for that matter. So yeah, it's official with the run-in that happened another place not too far from here, down in Chi-Town. The Young Bucks crashed an MLW show. Or excuse me, not MLW. Oh my God. AEW. Come on, brain. The Young Bucks crashed an AEW show over the weekend and interfered during a LAX versus Lucha Bros for the AEW Tag Team Championships, which caused the Lucha Brothers to lose the titles. So, it's funny. LAX lost some gold recently in Impact Wrestling, and now they got some gold in Chi-Town. And they made it official in the video that on May 25th, Double or Nothing, we're going to see the Lucha Bros versus the Young Bucks. Now, no other information has been added to that match as far as a stipulation or if there's any winning consequences or anything. They're just building a card right now. So yeah, we knew that was going to get announced. We just didn't, we're just waiting patiently as they're building this. Also in the vlog was funny. Sammy Guevara was in there. Who else? MJF. They also went to the Sears Center where they had All In. And the Sears Center put I'm assuming it's like a bronze plaque on the wall, fixed to the outside wall, commemorating All In being there. I thought that was actually really flipping cool. You don't hear about too many places doing things like that anymore. I mean, you hear about stuff in the olden days where classic commemorative wrestling posters from certain cards get put up, say like in a Madison Square Garden or something like that. So I thought that was pretty special, and it just reminded me how cool it was to be there live for that. And I think you can almost guarantee that they're gonna come back there for an event sometime, which makes me hope that they'll also consider coming to Milwaukee. Maybe play the Waukesha Expo Center. No, I'm kidding. They're not going to play that. They'll pick a local arena. They'll either do Fiserv Forum once they get this puppy going, or I know there's a couple other arenas downtown. One used to be called the Mecca Arena, but that was back in the 80s. I don't know what the hell they call them now. But I'm sure they'll come around here. So yeah, but nonetheless, the news about the official matchup made between the Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks for AEW. One other thing that I was going to... No, I didn't get to that yet. Okay, I can get rid of that. I got all these tabs up to remind me what I wanted to talk about because, well, I'm an idiot. And speaking of Delilah Doom, this Friday, Delilah Doom is going to be facing Tessa Blanchard. I can't wait to see that. Back to a little bit of Impact news, an update on the United We Stand card for Thursday, April 4th, leading into WrestleMania weekend. Their big event that they're doing, with a couple different people, namely MLW, among others. Talked about this during the Impact review I did on Thursday, which, by the way, is the audio version is also up on Anchor, so go check that out along with iTunes. And as our affiliation with Anchor grows, it's also going to be available on more formats as the days and weeks to come. It'll be available on Podbean, Spotify. I mean, Smash's podcast, as far as audio, is going to be available in more places than the video stuff. So I'm really excited about that. So this podcast should be doing some pretty good numbers over the course of 2019. I'm very excited for that. But yeah, back to Impact. The United We Stand Ultimate X match originally just had Jake Chris, Coro Brazil, and Jack Evans. Now they also added Pat Buck from WrestlePro and Dante Fox, a.k.a. AR Fox, from Lucha Underground. It's interesting because, there's no sign of Lucha Underground coming back, but they're still booking stuff as if they're from Lucha Underground, which kind of gives it a little bit of hope. I don't know. I don't want to look into that too much, but is it a sign that maybe something is still coming? I don't know. But that's another discussion for another time. But nonetheless, very excited about Pat Buck and Dante Fox being added to this match, and there is a silhouette with question marks for one more. So they'll make it 6 people, from what it looks like, if my math is correct. Yep, 6. Shut up, it's too early for math. Who do you think they're going to add to this match? You think it's gotta be somewhat of a big name that they're adding to this. Someone, yes, big from the indies. My guess, just off the top of my head, I'm going to say Shane Strickland. Hoping. We'll see. And I don't know where they would, say he's from. Unless they book him as Killshot from Lucha Underground. I don't know. But that's the first name that popped in my head that made me think like, hey, that'd be someone really good to add to this. Because he's still working for MLW. And if Impact and MLW are working together, well, I know there was a lot of rumors that everyone was just assuming that he was going to go to the WWE. Well, apparently he's not quite yet. We'll see. But so that's very exciting for that. And the last thing I was going to talk about, some positive, some negative. Yes, of course, Roman Reigns is coming back to Raw this evening, but I wanted to touch on this before I jump into that discussion. I just found this before I went live. This is sad. The women's wrestler Lufisto is looks like she's taking a break from wrestling. She's suffering from cervical cancer, and she's had to cancel, well, several dates in 2019. It's very sad. She's a very good women's wrestler, one of the best ones out there that has had several title reigns in a few different women's companies. And she's, let me just quick read this. Okay, this last tweet of hers, I had to cancel more dates in March, JCW and Smash Wrestling. The news was not good, and I have a lot to process. Tough decisions will have to be made. I'll decide what to do in the next few days. At this point, I just don't know. Thank you, Lou. That came out this morning. So, if you're a spiritual person, a praying person, please put her in your thoughts and prayers. And we certainly wish her well here at Smash This Podcast, and pray that she kicks this, because this is that's scary. You know, my wife had to go through you know, it's cancer that's aimed at the, you know, women's productive area and all that kind of stuff. It's not the cervical cancer, you know, leading to the you know, possible ovarian cancer. It's, you know, it's one of the things that killed my wife's mother. So that's scary stuff. Yeah, my wife has gone through several surgeries, has beaten it several times, and yeah, it's nothing to sneeze at. I take this to heart. You know, when it hits your own family, you think about it differently. So let's just you know, pray she beats this. And now, switching over to some positive news, kind of, you know, snap myself out of this. I don't watch a lot of WWE stuff lately, but I have been very interested in you know, certain storylines that they're doing lately. And no matter what your opinion is of WWE, I think we can all agree that it'll be good to see Roman Reigns return to TV. No matter whether you like him or not, that's not an issue here. It's his well-being, it's his health, and he's going to be giving us all an update this evening, and I'm very excited about it. And I know that he's also due for an appearance tomorrow morning on Good Morning America. They're really hyping it up, and that that scares me a little. I'm not gonna lie, but I think I think there's been plenty of positive signs out there. You know, if you're a fan of his, do you want to see him back in the ring? Absolutely, but we got to remember this is not something that he can just, okay, I'm cancer free, let's do this. No, it's a lot more difficult than that. It's been confirmed from his trainer that he has been working out. Okay, that interview's out there. You can go look for it. I don't know where I saw it. I saw it a few days ago. It was, in fact, that came out right after the announcement from Vince McMahon last week, and saying that yes, he is working out for a comeback, but he's also working out significantly slower than he has been. So is he in great shape still? Yes. And I was, I mean, this, chemo nowadays and their processes to help fight cancer are much different from back in the day when my cousin, who unfortunately passed away from leukemia several years ago, I'm trying to think. Wow, yeah, that was a long time ago. Before I was a teenager. Um, she lost her hair and everything. So that was my first thought is, oh man, okay. So Roman Reigns is going to fight this. He's going to lose all his hair. And and he has been hidden away from the public eye with the exception of a couple of pictures from friends, sneaking out here and there. He still looks great. He's got a full head of hair. He doesn't look withdrawn, beaten down, anything. He looks tremendous. But obviously, what he's going through makes him significantly weaker. So I can't wait to see him tonight. I will be watching. I might do a post-draw report as far as news and updates on him are concerned. And maybe talk about something else from Raw, depending on what happens. See if anybody pops out of the cake during Ric Flair's birthday party. Woohoo! No kidding. No. He's a married man now. No strippers for Ric Flair, please. Just tuck them away. We don't need tatas on Raw. Oh, yeah, let's not kill him on his 70th birthday, folks, okay? Some people are, like myself, are assuming that Becky Lynch is going to crash the party and make it further the thing with with her and Becky and Charlotte and Ronda. Oh my God. My brain is worse than Flair some days. It's some others think it's going to be a potential return of Evolution and spark a feud for Triple H versus Batista. We'll see. It'll be interesting. Hopefully it's a great party. Critical Sting in the chat. What is up, Walking Weapon? Yes. We applaud the Walking Weapon on his signing with Impact Wrestling. Can't wait to see what he does. Where was this? I saw it somewhere in social media. Someone said, "What's that on his head?" It's like, dude, really? If you don't know, he wears the collegiate wrestling headgear a la Steiner Brothers. Okay. I don't think much more explanation needs to be said than that. I don't know. Maybe it was some redneck. I don't know.
What's that on his head, Gertrude? My God. Looks like a backwards jock strap. Tell him to take that shit off.
It's coffee. I swear to God. It's Styles says he might watch Raw tonight. I think you should. So, that's about it. Talked about a lot of little nuggets of stuff floating around the news today and wanted to talk about them. And like I said, I'm slowly but surely getting back into the, trying to get my schedule going again, doing stuff on a regular basis. It's, I don't know. Sometimes I get like, okay, I got to do this right now. And then I'm like, I don't know. It's when you're so busy doing things on such a consistent basis and then you get away from it for a while, sometimes it takes a while to get back into the, okay, I'm doing this, so it is what it is. I'm still doing it. It's still coming. Trust me, it's coming. J-Bone's Jacked Up Jukebox is coming back sometime this week. A lot of music came out this past Friday and over the weekend. Oh my goodness, did we get a lot of new music to talk about. So if you're a classic rock fan like I am, tune in for that too. Bruce Pritchard. Yes. He's like, what did they sign him to? Vince brought him back. Head of talent relations, I want to think. I think that's what it was. Does that mean we're going to get Brother Love in the Hall of Fame this year? Dear God. I have memories of that back then, but man, that is literally a lifetime ago. Okay, I'm creeping up on 45 here, and that was back when I was like 10-ish, give or take a little. So yeah, that really goes back. That guy. Ew! Did someone say Raw? Yeah. Critical Sting. I know I'm late, but Jack Evans and AR Fox and the Ultimate X. Yes, that is going to be a tremendous match. It is. That is going to be great. I did talk about that. You can rewind that once this is done, and this will be, replayed up. Probably going to be putting this up on wrestlingwithwrestling.com. It looks like they've lost a few content providers. Not going to name any names. But, and I know I haven't put stuff up in there on a regular basis for a while. But, I believe in the website. It's got great potential to do something over the course of the next few years to really become a regular source for all things professional wrestling all over the world, internationally, legit. Run by Andre Corbeil. Hope he gets his computer back soon. Fixed up, ready to go. Put a couple bandages on there. Little elbow grease. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not an IT guy. I don't know how the hell you fix computers. I don't know how you fix a blue screen of death. I don't know. Paint over it, maybe? I don't know. So, yeah. Critical Sting also said, heard Madman Fulton is going to show up soon. Madman Fulton. Oh, Fulton, formerly of NXT. Yeah, I've been waiting for him to show up in Impact Wrestling. He has also shown up. He did a house show somewhere and had a match somewhere in Ohio. He did one or two dates. Would be great to see him back up Callahan in Impact Wrestling as well. I haven't watched MLW on a consistent basis in a while, so I don't know if he's still on there or not. But that would be great. Yes. Great looking big man. You know, a la Luke Harper-ish. You know. So, all right. We're going to wrap this up. I got to go start prepping dinner or something. Clean something. Oh, I know. Make more coffee. It's empty. I'm out of coffee. I gotta go. Bye. I gotta go.